Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another Truth Nugget. I did take a week off. I had to put some attention on other things, but we're back. So this week it's a nugget by request, which is something a little new. And a good friend of mine, Lisa, sent me a message and it said, how do we stay focused on goals, dreams, and wishes in life? And I think that is a really good question to address. It's very relevant considering some of our other nuggets have been around goals. So the first thing is that goals, dreams, and wishes, they're not necessarily a static thing that will stay in place for the rest of your life. I remember when I was young, I used to dream of Ferraris and those sorts of things. But at some point I realized they weren't really my dreams, they were just what people in the movies dreamt of. So once I realized that, I was able to achieve a lot more things because I really wasn't steering towards the Ferraris and everything else. I'm just not that money hungry. I'm just not that flashy. I just don't care about those things. I just wanted them because everyone else seemed to want them. It's a bit of a side mention, but I think it is important to realize that even now, the goals and dreams that I have will change. I mean, at the moment, my goals and dreams are often around my children. But they're going to grow up and they're going to, move on, and I will have to reassess my goals at that point. Now, what I like to do as far as keeping them fresh, as far as keeping focused on my goals, is imagine that I have a shelf here. Okay, maybe I've got 3 shelves actually. I've got my short-term goal shelf, my medium-term goal shelf, and my long-term goal shelf. Now, this shelf here, this short-term goal, they're pretty shiny goals, if you like. They get looked at a lot. It's like, okay, I've got a competition coming up in 2 weeks. I'll just take this goal down. I have to drop 2 kilos in order to make my weight division. I have to enter my registration. So all of the things happening around this goal, they're right in front of my face all the time. In the medium-term goals, it might be, okay, I really have a goal to take my children to Europe at some point. So I have to save up a fair chunk of dough to do that. And these goals get a little bit dusty. You have to take them down every once in a while. You have to kind of wipe them down, a bit of spray and wipe, and and assess them. And do you still want them? If the kids don't eat European food, and there's a lot of things going on in Europe that I don't want to be part of, for example, I might just take that goal off and throw it away, and that's fine too. It gives me room on my shelf, okay? And then you've got this long-term goal shelf, and that's, often people find that this shelf just doesn't get much attention and love at all, and these things become dusty and there might be, moths eating them and those sorts of things. You really got to take these down regularly, look at them and say, do I really want that? It's been in the back of my mind forever. I remember when we were young, one of my beautiful fathers, he wanted a windsurfer, and year after year he would reflect on this goal that was up on his top shelf of having a windsurfer, and year after year our goals would take the place because he wouldn't inspect it often enough. He didn't want it badly enough. He did want it, but he just didn't want it that badly, and he prioritized our goals over his, which is very lovely to do. But it just goes to show he could have probably put something else on the shelf in place of that, and probably did. Now, as far as keeping goals fresh and in your mind, my mouse pad, look at me using my mouse pad, is actually a vision statement, and I wrote this back in 2007. And essentially it goes on, back in those days when I was doing some business coaching, I would encourage people to write these lists and actually laminate them and put them in the shower. That is a good tip. If you put your goals and desires in the shower while you're standing there washing or doing whatever you do in the shower, it's a good time to read. Mine is not really about Ferraris and those sorts of things. This is, as I said, back in 2007. But I live a life of growth and contribution. My family are healthy, positive, fun and successful. My home is happening, warm, full of life in my sanctuary. I spend my spare moments playing outdoors and reflecting. I'm passionate about my family and its future. I confront as soon as I need to. And on it goes. These are things that are important to me. I strongly suggest that you do this, or if you're a visual person, do create a vision board. They're great, although whenever people walk into your house, they will see all the things you're striving towards. So, maybe put it somewhere a bit personal, but somewhere where you're looking at it all the time. I hope that helps. Have a great one, and if you have any more requests, please send them through. That's a bit fun. And if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, because my son keeps laughing that I only have 9 subscribers. Have a great one. Bye.